Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Some tense moments at a Southern Kentucky City Council meeting after the state auditor released a special examination into that city's finances. Several city council members are asking for the city attorney and mayor of London in Laurel County to step down. That meeting was open to the public, but local residents were not allowed to speak. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what happened when several residents raised questions during the meeting.
Kentucky's auditor says many of the problems dealt with lack of oversight and approval by governing bodies. Councilmember Kelly Green says she's had questions about how tax dollars were spent, specifically without council approval, and on Thursday asked for both the city attorney and mayor to step down.
All through the report, it kept saying that the council was not made aware of these things, and we weren't.
Among the findings, a concert costing $45,000 was scheduled and canceled without any contract in place. The money was not refunded. It also says the mayor set up services without council approval. In the report, Mayor Troy Rudder told the auditor that while they agree with some of the recommendations, others have been remedied. Still, Green asked for both the mayor and city attorney to step down. Other members asked for at least the city attorney to resign.
Such an audit should not have happened. And I think it's a big slap in London's face.
The meeting did become heated towards the end when several members of the audience wanted an opportunity to speak, but the mayor stopped them and said that was not allowed during a special meeting. And when Douglas Phelps asked when that public comment would be allowed, Phelps said the mayor again said it wasn't allowed.
As the members of the public have a right to speak, so, when can we do that? And he ordered the police officers to escort me out of there.
No action was taken during the meeting, but Green says she would like the council to have a vote of confidence in the mayor at another meeting. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
We tried reaching out to both the city attorney and mayor, but our calls were not returned.
Well, we saw it in Phil's shot there. A rather cold and rainy, dreary day around the mountains, and that continues as afternoon turns into evening around the area. We continue to see overcast and even some rain and flurries. High-up camera at UVA-Wise, the dark clouds in the distance of more showers beginning to move into Wise County into the middle 30s already. Out front of WYMT here on Black Gold Boulevard, well, we see the wet sidewalk there, the wet parking lot out in front of the station, and more of those showers in the distance. We continue to see temperatures drop from the 40s into the 30s quite quickly. We're now at 37 here in Hazard. That's our cooler temperatures right now. Wise at 36 is the cool spot. We're going to continue to see temperatures drop, and we'll continue to see these showers, some of which mixing with some sleet pellets, some snow, even some graupel out there. Watching this move right on top of Jackson here within the next little bit. As this continues to push on off to the north and east, you see some of that mixing in now, and more will be possible as we head into the overnight. So keep that WYMT weather app handy. We'll continue to have the possibility for showers turning into snow flurries overnight. We'll see a brief lull, but more back as we head into the morning hours. I'll have the full details on when warm-up looks to happen coming up in just a moment. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. City officials in Hindman are hard at work cleaning up a building that partially collapsed yesterday afternoon. WYMT's Chas Jenkins has more from the mayor and an eyewitness.
An unexpected Thursday afternoon for city officials.
We went outside and found that the building 3 doors down from us, the front portion of the brick had came off into the sidewalk and the city street.
As eyewitnesses described the incident as a terrifying experience.
I was parked here actually calling some policyholders, and it just kind of a big loud boom, and I honestly thought it was an explosion at first, and then I kind of realized what was going on, and we just kind of backed up and got away from it, and I was afraid the power lines were going to come down.
Thankful nobody was hurt. Unsure what caused the collapse.
I actually did look at that, make sure there was nobody around, nobody was hurt or anything like that, and I just got out of here then. It was very, very, very confusion as far as that goes. I was actually expecting the whole building to crumble down.
Officials say they have contacted the building's current owner.
He is a doctor in Louisiana, which was a doctor in Eastern Kentucky at one time, but he's down there now. I did make contact with him this morning and explained the situation to him. He was aware of it prior to.
Hoping to see the building be put to good use.
I've talked with the landowner, and there is some issues with the building, and there is potential for something to be in the near future for that site.
Keeping the property sectioned off until deemed safe. In Hindman, Chaz Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Neese says the owner plans to have the building worked on tomorrow. He says they hope to have it taken care of by Monday. Governor Beshear has signed a bill aimed at addressing Kentucky's nursing shortage. The goal is to boost enrollment in nursing schools and lure out-of-state nurses into the state's workforce. It comes a few months after Beshear declared the state's nursing shortage to be an emergency. The measure aims to lift enrollment limits in nursing programs meeting student achievement standards. It is also meant to accelerate licensing for out-of-state nurses to work in Kentucky. A child abuse awareness event in Pikeville brought dozens to the city park today. One speaker saying they were pushing through the uncomfortable weather to discuss an uncomfortable subject. Child advocates gathered as speakers explained the importance of speaking up and standing in for the kids across the region who need a safe space. Painting the park blue with pinwheels, organizers say it was about bringing the community in to serve as a needed bridge for the kids who are often stuck in the gap.
There are times that in a child's life, if they have been a victim of abuse, they need someone to advocate for them, and there are different roles that may take on. There are volunteers that work with our children, but also equally as important are the need for foster parents.
The event was the official declaration of April as Child Abuse Awareness Month in Pike County. Quintez Brown, the man accused of trying to shoot Louisville mayoral candidate Craig Greenberg, was back in court today. Brown faces up to life in prison for trying to kill Greenberg while they met in his campaign office. During the hearing, we learned the government has taken testimony about Brown's mental health during the grand jury proceedings. Brown's attorneys have asked the government to provide all the evidence they've gathered that would detail his mental health and potentially defeat the indictment. Those are due Wednesday.
The judges in those courts found that he was suffering from mental illness, and that his being locked up and incarcerated was going to be a detriment to his physical and mental well-being.
Brown's family and friends filled the courtroom but declined to speak about the case. His attorneys continue to argue this case is politically motivated. The court scheduled a hearing next week to determine if Brown will continue to stay locked up. A Laurel County man is facing charges following an investigation in a child pornography case. On Thursday, officials with the Kentucky State Police Electronic Crimes Branch found and arrested Donald Ray Gilbert in East Bernstadt. When the team arrived at his Bluegrass Road home, they also took equipment they believe was used in the case to distribute the sexually explicit images online. The equipment will be taken to KSP's forensic lab for further examination. Gilbert was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Earlier this week, we told you about a local animal shelter that was in desperate need of volunteers. Today, those with the shelter say they've experienced a dramatic increase in volunteers since our story aired. Those with the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Hazard say because of the amount of volunteers they have received in the last 2 days, each animal has been able to have time outside of their cage, and several animals had the chance to have a bath.
We've had several new volunteers. We've also had some volunteers that have been here in the past, and everybody left here with a smile. So everybody had fun.
Good to hear. Mullins adds that several rescue groups have also reached out to help the shelter. She says in just the few days more people have volunteered, the animals seem much happier. An Eastern Kentucky community is rebuilding after a man vandalized numerous businesses early Friday morning. WYMT's Keaton Hall is in Bevansville with the latest.
An arrest was made after more than 20 businesses, cars, and homes had their windows smashed early Friday morning in the Bevansville Bi-Pro community.
Yeah, it started about 6 o'clock this morning. We received numerous calls along with Kentucky State Police, sent units to the area to respond to several complaints of businesses broke in, residents broke in, vehicles broke into.
Floyd County Sheriff John Hunt tells us Nicholas Justice of Bevansville was arrested around 1 p.m. after a tip from a local. Justice is accused of using a hatchet to vandalize and break into several buildings.
Yeah, he's a known individual to both law enforcement and to the community here, so law enforcement's dealt with him in the past, and so he was not a stranger to, thank goodness, the people in the community knew him, could identify him real quick.
Delmas Johnson helps out at Grace Auctions, one of the businesses that was targeted.
My father-in-law, Gary Tackett, called me about right close to 8 o'clock this morning and advised that the windows and the doors got busted, and you see we had to replace these doors.
Johnson says Grace Auctions, like several other businesses in the area, only had its windows smashed without actually being broken into.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking that they just busted the windows out and didn't actually come into the building.
Among the few things Justice is accused of stealing so far, 2 chainsaws, which he was wielding when Sheriff Hunt arrested him Friday afternoon.
Good capture to get him off the street and more or less probably get him some help.
Now Bevansville looks to recoup after a night of senseless damage. In Floyd County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Sheriff Hunt says Justice made threats toward at least one business owner. Save the Children of Perry County partnered with the Red Spotted Newt Bookstore to create a library, but not for books. The Little Seed Library, located inside the bookstore, is an opportunity for kids and parents within the community to get different seeds to take home, to plant, and to leave seeds for other people. This project coincides with Save the Children's mission to promote hands-on activities for families to do together, all while sharing the importance of agriculture.
Well, in our community, we do have, a lot of people that are food insecure. So in planting your own garden, obviously, you can put it up and you have things for the months where you can't plant anything. And just, it's like working together as a community and working together as a family, like planting things. It makes you feel good. It makes, it helps with your mental health, helps with family engagement time together.
Today's Little Seed Library event was in relation to the Week of the Young Child, a time of the year dedicated to promoting the education and development of young children.
Rain showers, flurries, and below average temperatures. We've got plenty of all of it over the next 48 hours. The complete breakdown coming up next.
And Kentucky is back to the races as Keeneland reopens for the first day of the spring meet.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT